My name is Riley Barnes, a financial analyst at a corporation in San Francisco. That Monday afternoon, while I was preparing materials for a promotion meeting, my father showed up. "Riley," he said, his voice softer than I remembered, almost apologetic. "It's been a long time. We need to talk about—" I froze. 7 years. It had been 7 years since I last heard his voice. 7 years since I changed my number, moved 3,000 miles west, and built a life where I no longer flinched every time someone said the word family. And now he was here. Next to him stood a woman with her arms crossed, blonde hair, red lips, a red coat. Her smile was sharp, calculated. Without a word, she handed me a piece of paper. Handwritten, block letters, invoice, total amount due, $47,000, payment deadline, 30 days. Below were the line items. Line 1, food and shelter, ages 0 to 18, $32,000. Line 2, emotional support, and $1,000. Line 3, opportunity cost of parenting, $5,000. I looked up. "Who are you?" "Cassandra," she replied smoothly, her tone silky and controlled. "Your father's wife. We got married 18 months ago." Her red-painted nails, matching her coat, tapped lightly on the paper. "We know you're doing well. Finance analyst, right? Up for a promotion soon?" My stomach tightened. "How do you—" "We just need a little help," my father cut in. "Family helps family. You know that, Riley." The security guard near the reception desk stood watching, unsure if he should step in. I raised my phone and took a photo of the invoice. Habit, the instinctive reflex of an analyst. Evidence first, emotion later. "I don't owe you anything," I said. My voice sounded steadier than I felt. "Don't come back here." Cassandra's smile didn't fade. 30 days, Riley. Or we'll have to speak with your HR department. I'm sure they'd be very interested in certain things." Her smile stayed sweet, but every word dripped poison. I walked past the security desk without looking back. My legs moved on instinct. My mind hadn't caught up yet. 10 minutes later, I was sitting in my Honda Civic in the parking garage, engine off, hands gripping the steering wheel hard enough to ache. On the passenger seat, my work badge, a half-finished iced coffee, and a sticky note that read, "CFO meeting 2 p.m. Be confident." That meeting already felt like it belonged to someone else's life. In the rearview mirror, my reflection didn't look shocked. It looked calculated, assessing. Years of analyzing data had trained me to look for patterns. And patterns always leave trails. I unlocked my phone, opened Google Photos, scrolled to a folder I hadn't touched in years. Evidence old. Files I'd kept like fire insurance, praying I'd never have to use them. First image, a 2018 bank statement. Withdrawal, $8,000, Frank Barnes, joint account holder. That money was meant to cover my senior year tuition. Every paycheck from 2 part-time jobs, every dollar I'd scraped together since I was 16, deposited into an account my father helped me open. "For your future," he'd said. When I came home for winter break that year, the balance was 0. He was at the kitchen table surrounded by overdue bills and betting slips from the track. "You'll understand when you're older," he told me. "Family takes care of each other. I needed it to pay off some debts. You can take out loans. You've got time." I did. I graduated. 3 days after commencement, I packed my car and drove west, coast to coast with the radio off and my phone lighting up every 100 miles with his name. "Just a little gas money," one message read. By Nevada, I stopped answering. By Arizona, I changed my number. By California, I was a ghost. For 7 years, I believed distance was protection. That belief died today in the lobby downstairs. I scrolled further. Screenshots of old messages I'd once promised myself I'd delete. "You're being selfish. I'm your father. $500 is nothing to you now. Your mother would be ashamed of what you've become." My mother had died when I was 6. I remembered the scent of her shampoo more than her voice. But he'd always known which ghost to summon. Through the windshield, I looked back at the tower. 23 floors of glass and steel. My name etched on the directory. Riley Barnes, finance analyst, floor 14. I had clawed my way here. Community college to scholarships, CFA night classes, 3 promotions in 5 years. Every badge scan, every quarterly report, every 2 a.m. spreadsheet was proof that I could build something untouchable. Now they knew where to find me. They knew about the promotion. And someone had told them. 30 days. That was their deadline. But it was also my countdown. I didn't plan to see them again. But that night, lying awake, I realized something. Hiding wouldn't protect me. I needed to know what they knew, who was feeding them information, and how deep it went. So the next afternoon, I texted my father. If you want to talk, meet me outside, 5 p.m., public place only. I didn't want them coming back to the lobby, so I chose neutral ground. The plaza near my building had food trucks and lunch crowds. Public, visible, safe enough. When I arrived at 5 p.m., they were already there, sitting at a metal table near the fountain. My father stood when he saw me, an old reflex of courtesy that felt grotesque now. Cassandra remained seated, phone on the table, screen facing up. Recording us, maybe. "Riley," my father began, "I know this is hard, but I raised you alone after your mom died. I gave up everything. $47,000 is nothing compared to what you owe." "I don't owe you." I stayed standing. "You took $8,000 from my college fund 7 years ago. I have the bank statement you stole from me." His face reddened. "That wasn't stealing. That was family helping family. I was desperate. I thought you'd understand." "We're not being unreasonable," Cassandra cut in, voice smooth, practiced. "We can work out a payment plan, $2,000 a month for 24 months, very manageable for someone with your salary." She slid a business card across the table. Cassandra Barnes, event consultant. The email was a Gmail address, not a company domain. "But if you refuse," she let the sentence hang. "Then what?" I asked. My father leaned forward. "Then people need to know the truth about how you stole from me, about the laptop you took from my house when you left." "I never took a laptop." "That's not what I'll tell your HR director," Cassandra said. She picked up her phone, turned it toward me. On the screen, a photo of an email draft. Subject: concerns about Riley Barnes' personal conduct. The body was blurred, but the recipient line was clear: my company's HR department. My pulse pounded, but my voice stayed level. "Don't contact my workplace again. Don't come back here." I turned to leave. My father called after me. "You've changed, Riley. You used to be a good kid." I didn't look back, but in my pocket, my phone was recording everything. Audio file automatically syncing to cloud storage, time-stamped, geotagged to this exact location. That evening, back in my studio apartment, I opened my laptop and checked my email. One new message. Subject: your family issues. The sender's address was internal, someone from my company, but not my department. The message body was blank except for a single line. "Someone came by asking about you today. Thought you should know. MH Floor 8. They had someone inside the building, and now I had 30 days to find out who." At 11:47 p.m., my phone lit up with notifications. Password reset request for Venmo. Two-factor authentication code for an old iCloud account I'd stopped using. Then an email from Google. "We prevented a sign-in attempt to your account from Scranton, PA. Scranton, his town." I screenshot everything. Timestamps, IP addresses, security alerts. At 12:23 a.m., I called Derek. Derek Tran and I started at the company the same week 5 years ago. He'd moved to IT security 3 years back. When he answered, I didn't apologize for the hour. "Someone's trying to access my accounts?" "Multiple attempts. They might have my social security number from years ago." "Screenshot everything," he said immediately. "Every notification, include timestamps. And Riley, we need to meet tomorrow. I have access to building logs." "Building logs?" "Visitor sign-ins, badge scans. If someone's been asking about you, there's a record." I opened a new document. Evidence log. Day 1. Listed everything. The invoice photo, the plaza recording, the login attempts, the anonymous email from Floor 8. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. Last chance. Friday 5 p.m. 10K upfront or the real story goes to your boss. Attached was a scanned document, a bank signature card from 2017. My name at the bottom. Except I'd never signed it. The loop on my R was wrong. They'd forged it. I added it to the evidence folder and understood. This wasn't desperation. This was a plan. Cassandra's text, Tuesday morning. Let's talk like adults. Coffee 10 a.m. tomorrow. Bring your checkbook. I chose a place 2 blocks from work. Public, visible. Cassandra arrived in a blazer, sliding a revised document across the table. 47,000 over 24 months, 2,000 per month. Very reasonable for someone at your salary level. My father arrived late, nervous. He let her lead. If you refuse, Cassandra continued, we're sending documentation to your HR director, proof you stole from him in 2018. I need to consult an attorney, I said. I'm not signing anything. Her expression cooled. An attorney? Family really doesn't matter to you. This isn't family. This is extortion. She turned her phone toward me. Draft email to my HR director. I am writing to report concerning behavior by your employee Riley Barnes, who has refused to repay substantial loans. I stood. Don't contact me again. My phone had recorded everything. 17 minutes, 42 seconds. By the time I reached my desk, the email had been sent, anonymously, to my HR director and manager. My manager forwarded it. Riley, can we talk? Thursday afternoon, Derek slacked me. Check Instagram. A new account, 0 followers, had posted a story tagged to my company. My stepdaughter works here. She refuses to help her struggling father. Heartless Taffern family first. 2 coworkers had viewed it. I reported it, screenshot everything. Derek called. I pulled building footage. Cassandra was outside yesterday taking photos. 8 minutes, we have it on camera. Send it to me. Already did. Riley, you need to go to HR today. At 3 p.m., I met with my manager first. I'm dealing with harassment from my estranged father. They've been here twice. They're sending anonymous emails, creating fake social media. I have documentation. Go to HR, she said immediately. We'll support you. Maya Chen's office was small, 2 chairs, a box of tissues. I handed her a USB drive. Everything's here. Photos, recordings, security footage, bank statements, texts, login attempts, timeline spreadsheet. Maya reviewed it silently, clicking through folders. This is workplace harassment under company policy. We're documenting this officially. She pulled up a form. We'll loop in legal. Have you thought about a restraining order? I didn't know I could. She handed me a brochure. Employee Assistance Program. Legal consultation. 3 free sessions with an attorney. Use them. As she typed the incident report, I felt the shift. I wasn't alone. I had systems. Friday morning, Derek showed me visitor logs on his laptop. Cassandra signed in twice, once for you. But 3 days earlier, she visited Marcus Hewitt, floor 8, IT consultant who applied here 6 months ago and was rejected. My stomach dropped. She networked someone with a grudge. And look, the anonymous email to HR formatting matches our internal template exactly. Someone taught her. That afternoon, Maya, Derek, and I met with Patricia Ruiz, in-house legal counsel. I walked through everything while Derek displayed evidence. Patricia sat back. This is harassment escalating toward extortion. We're issuing a cease and desist today. They're banned from this property. Building security gets their photos. She slid me a business card. You need to file for a restraining order. Laura Voss specializes in family harassment. Tell her I referred you. She drafted the letter on screen. You are hereby directed to cease all contact with Riley Barnes. This includes physical presence, electronic communication, social media posts, and third-party contact. Failure to comply will result in legal action, including restraining orders and police involvement. Saturday morning, I met Laura Voss downtown. Mid-40s, practical, walls covered in legal certifications. She reviewed my evidence folder, now 73 files. Excellent documentation, she said. You have credible threat and pattern of harassment, both required for a restraining order. She started drafting. We file Monday, court date in 2 to 3 weeks. What if they escalate? They might. But here's a strategy. Send one final offer, small amount, impossible conditions. When they refuse and counter higher in writing, that's additional evidence of extortion intent. That evening, I emailed them. I'm willing to consider a one-time payment of $500 conditional on signing a no-contact agreement and meeting with witnesses. This is my only offer. Reply came in 19 minutes. Cassandra, $1,500 is insulting. We need $2,000 up front, then $1,500 a month for 18 months. We're not signing any no-contact agreement. You're our daughter. Final offer, or we go to HR with the real story about how you embezzled and fled. My father, separate email, all caps. Absolutely not. You owe me. Your mother would be ashamed. I forwarded both to Laura. She replied, perfect. This is escalating demands and false accusations. We're ready to file Monday. Monday at 9 a.m., Laura and I filed the paperwork at County Courthouse. Petition for civil harassment restraining order, 15 pages, 40-page evidence packet. The clerk stamped it. Hearing scheduled October 30th, 10 a.m. That afternoon, the company's cease and desist was delivered. 30 minutes later, my phone exploded. 11 missed calls, 7 texts, voicemail from my father, voice slurred. You think lawyers will save you? We know people. You can't hide from family. I saved everything. Forwarded to Laura, Maya, Derek. Tuesday evening, leaving work, Derek texted, don't go to your car. They're in the garage waiting. I went to the security office. On the monitor, my father and Cassandra by my Civic, 23 minutes. Police are responding, Derek said. Active restraining order filing plus trespass ban. I'm going down, but you're coming with me. In the dim garage, I kept my distance. You're trespassing. Police are coming. Police? Cassandra laughed. For talking to you? For violating a cease and desist and trespassing on private property. Sirens echoed. 2 SFPD cars, 4 officers. These individuals are banned and waiting to confront an employee, Derek told them. Active restraining order filing. The officer turned to my father. This is private property. Leave now or be cited. She's my daughter? Sir, that doesn't give you rights here. Leave or you'll be arrested. My father stepped toward me. Riley, please. Sir, step back now. They left. The officers took a report, case number 2024-2847, trespassing warning issued. If they return, call 911 immediately. October 30th. I wore a navy blazer, professional armor, and met Laura outside the courthouse at 9:30. She carried a briefcase thick with documents. They'll be here, she said. They have to be if they want to contest it. Remember, stick to facts, stay calm, reference exhibits by number. The judge has everything in front of her. Department 12 was smaller than I'd expected. Wooden benches worn smooth, fluorescent lights humming, an American flag in the corner. The judge's bench sat elevated at the front. Judge Sandra Morrison, according to the nameplate. Early 60s, reading glasses, silver hair pulled back. At 9:55, they walked in. My father in a wrinkled button-down shirt, looking older, thinner. Cassandra in a black dress, hair severe, carrying a folder. They sat on the opposite side. Cassandra looked at me once, assessing, cold, then whispered something to my father. He nodded but wouldn't meet my eyes. All rise, the bailiff said. Judge Morrison entered, sat, opened the file. Case number 24CV8847, Riley Barnes petitioner, Frank Barnes and Cassandra Barnes respondents. Petition for civil harassment restraining order. She looked up. Ms. Barnes, you're the petitioner? I stood. Yes, Your Honor. You may proceed with your testimony. I'd rehearse this with Laura. Stick to facts. Use dates and times. Reference exhibits. Don't get emotional. I took a breath. Your Honor, I'm here because my father and his wife have engaged in a campaign of harassment against me over the past month. This includes appearing at my workplace multiple times despite being banned, demanding $47,000 with threats to my career if I refused, attempting to access my personal accounts, creating fake social media posts about me and my employer, and lying in wait for me in parking garages. I paused, steadied my voice. I cut contact with my father 7 years ago after he withdrew $8,000 from my college savings account without permission, an account he had access to because he'd helped me open it when I was 16. I moved to California to start over. 4 weeks ago, he found where I work. Judge Morrison was taking notes. Continue. On September 28th, he and his wife Cassandra appeared at my workplace and gave me this. I held up the invoice photo. Exhibit A handwritten invoice demanding $47,000, itemizing alleged costs of raising me. They gave me 30 days to pay, or they'd contact my HR department with false information. When I refused and told them not to return, they escalated. I walked through the timeline. October 3rd, they insisted on meeting at a coffee shop. I recorded the conversation with my phone. Exhibit G. They increased their demand to $20,000 upfront plus monthly payments. When I said I needed to consult an attorney, they showed me a draft email threatening to send false allegations to my employer. That same day, they sent an anonymous email to my HR director, Exhibit J, making vague accusations about my conduct. Judge Morrison clicked through exhibits on her tablet. I continued. Between October 3rd and 5th, someone attempted to access my personal accounts. Venmo, old iCloud, Gmail, from IP addresses in Pennsylvania, my father's location. Exhibits L through N show the security alerts and timestamps. On October 4th, Cassandra created multiple fake Instagram accounts posting about me and tagging my company's location, Exhibits P and Q. My company's security footage, Exhibit R, shows her standing outside our building taking photographs. I took a breath. This was the crucial part. Your Honor, this wasn't random harassment. Exhibit T shows building visitor logs proving Cassandra visited our building twice, once allegedly to see me, and 3 days earlier to meet with someone on another floor who'd been rejected for a position at my company. That person provided her with internal information about our email formatting and my work schedule. This was premeditated and coordinated. Judge Morrison looked up at that. Coordinated with a third party? Yes, Your Honor. My company's IT security department traced the connection through badge scan logs and visitor records. Continue. On October 15th, my company's legal counsel issued a cease and desist letter, Exhibit W, banning them from the property. That same day, I received 11 phone calls and 7 text messages, including one voicemail, Exhibit X, where my father stated, "We know people. You can't hide from family." On October 17th, they violated the cease and desist by waiting for me in my workplace parking garage for 23 minutes. My company's security footage, Exhibit Z, shows this. When I came down with a security officer, they refused to leave until police arrived. The police issued a trespassing warning, Exhibit AA Police Report Number 2024-2847. I looked directly at Judge Morrison. I have 73 exhibits total: security footage, visitor logs, badge scans, recorded conversations, text messages, emails with threats, fake documents they created, including a forged bank signature card, social media harassment, and police reports. I documented everything because I learned early that evidence is the only protection against people who manipulate the truth. Judge Morrison was quiet for a long moment, reviewing the tablet. Finally, she looked up. And you had no contact with your father for 7 years prior to September 28th? Correct, Your Honor. I changed my phone number, moved across the country, didn't provide my address or employer information to any mutual contacts. Yet they found you? They researched me, used LinkedIn, possibly public records, then used a contact inside my building to gather detailed information about my schedule and position. This was planned weeks in advance. The judge turned to my father and Cassandra. Mr. Barnes, you'll have an opportunity to respond. Go ahead. My father stood slowly. He looked smaller than I remembered. Your Honor, I'm her father. I raised her alone after her mother died when Riley was 6 years old. All I wanted was some help. I have medical bills, debts. I'm not. His voice cracked. I'm not a bad person. I thought my daughter would help me. That's what family does. Mr. Barnes? Judge Morrison's voice was firm. Did you go to your daughter's workplace after she told you not to? Yes, but I just needed to talk. Did you demand $47,000 from her? It wasn't a demand, it was asking. Did you send threatening messages after receiving a cease and desist letter from her employer? He hesitated. I was upset. I didn't mean. Did you wait for her in a parking garage after being told to stay away? Yes. Judge Morrison turned to Cassandra. Ms. Barnes, do you have anything to add? Cassandra stood, composed, controlled. Your Honor, Riley is exaggerating the situation. We simply asked for financial help. Yes, we went to her workplace, but she'd blocked all our numbers, refused all contact. How else were we supposed to reach her? She's family. You were supposed to respect her decision not to have contact. Judge Morrison said flatly. Did you create social media posts about her and her employer? I may have posted about the situation on my personal accounts, but that's freedom of speech. Not when it's targeted harassment intended to damage someone's reputation and livelihood. Did you coordinate with a third party to gather information about your stepdaughter? Cassandra's composure slipped slightly. I met someone who worked in the building. We talked. That's not a crime. It is when it's part of a coordinated harassment campaign. Did you and your husband forge documents, including a bank signature card? That was a misunderstanding. Judge Morrison held up her hand. I've heard enough. She removed her glasses, set them on the bench. The courtroom was silent except for the hum of fluorescent lights. I've reviewed the evidence submitted by Ms. Riley Barnes, 73 exhibits including recorded conversations, text messages, corporate security footage, building access logs, police reports, financial documents, and forged materials. This is one of the most thoroughly documented harassment cases I've seen in 20 years on this bench. She looked at my father, her expression stern but not unkind. Mr. Barnes, I understand you may feel your daughter owes you something, but the law is unambiguous. Adult children have no legal obligation to provide financial support to parents in California. Your daughter exercised her legal right to cut contact with you 7 years ago. That was her choice to make, and it was valid regardless of your feelings about it. She turned to Cassandra. Ms. Cassandra Barnes, what you and your husband have engaged in is not asking for help. It's systematic harassment with the intent to coerce money through threats to your stepdaughter's livelihood. The coordination with third parties, the fake documents, the persistent violations after being told to stop. These demonstrate a pattern that goes far beyond a family dispute. Judge Morrison turned to her computer, began typing. I am granting the temporary restraining order and converting it immediately to a permanent civil harassment restraining order for a period of 5 years, effective today through October 30th, 2029. My heart was pounding. Mr. Frank Barnes and Ms. Cassandra Barnes, you are hereby prohibited from contacting Riley Barnes in any manner whatsoever. This includes, but is not limited to, phone calls, text messages, emails, social media contact, in-person contact, and contact through third parties or intermediaries. You are ordered to stay at least 100 yards away from Ms. Riley Barnes, her residence, her place of employment, and her vehicle at all times. If you violate this order, you will be subject to immediate arrest and criminal charges for contempt of court. Do you understand these terms? My father's face had gone pale. Your Honor, please. She's my daughter. Mr. Barnes, do you understand the terms of this order? Yes. Ms. Cassandra Barnes, do you understand? Cassandra's jaw was tight, her lips pressed into a thin line. Yes. The restraining order is effective immediately. You'll receive copies by mail. Court is adjourned. The gavel came down, one sharp crack that echoed in the small room. I stayed seated for a moment, trying to process. 5 years, 100 yards, no contact, legal protection. Laura squeezed my shoulder. You did it. That was perfect. My father and Cassandra left quickly, Cassandra's heels clicking sharp against the floor. My father glanced back once, but I didn't look away. I watched them leave, watched them disappear through the courtroom doors. Outside in the hallway, I sat on a wooden bench, the document in my hands. Official, stamped, signed by Judge Sandra Morrison, restraining order, valid through October 30th, 2029. I called Maya. The restraining order was granted. 5 years. Riley, that's incredible. I'm so proud of you. Your job is secure, and your promotion to senior analyst is official next week. After we hung up, I sat there for a while longer. The courthouse hallway was busy. Lawyers with briefcases, families, people dealing with their own legal battles. My hands had stopped shaking. The paper in my hands felt solid, real. 7 years ago, I'd run 3,000 miles hoping distance would be enough. But it hadn't been. Now I had 100 yards backed by law. And that was everything. 6 months later, I sat in Dr. Patricia Kim's office for weekly therapy. How do you feel about the boundaries you've set? November, I'd said, guilty. December, necessary but sad. January, relieved. Today, free. That's growth, she smiled. The promotion to senior analyst came through in November. I led projects now, managed junior analysts. My team didn't know the story. They didn't need to. Derek and I still grabbed lunch weekly. Maya checked in every few weeks. How are you doing? Just care, no pressure. The restraining order held, no violations, no contact attempts. In March, I started volunteering, 2 Saturdays monthly at the Family Justice Center, helping people file restraining orders, organize evidence. Laura Voss had suggested it. You have expertise now. Sometimes healing means helping others heal. The first person I helped was Jessica, 32, whose mother demanded money at her workplace. She cried. I feel so guilty. I'd shown her my evidence folder copy. Honor doesn't mean access. You can respect someone gave birth to you while protecting yourself from harm. Those aren't contradictory. She filed 2 weeks later. It was granted. I didn't look at my evidence folder often anymore. 87 files. It existed as proof, as validation. But it didn't define me. Dr. Kim asked last week, what would you tell the Riley from September in that conference room, getting the security call? I'd thought. I'd tell her, you're gonna be okay. It'll be hard and scary and you'll doubt yourself. But you'll document everything. Ask for help. Learn that no is a complete sentence. And one day, a judge will say you were right, that you deserve safety, that you didn't owe them anything. Do you believe that now? Yes, I'd said. I believe it. 1 year after the restraining order, I was promoted to finance manager. During the celebration, one of my analysts pulled me aside. Your boundaries. How are you so clear but not cold? Boundaries aren't walls, I said. They're doors. I'm the one with the key. She nodded. My mom asks for money every month, says I owe her. We went to coffee. I listened, gave her Laura Voss's card. It's okay to say no, even to family. That evening, I drove past my old apartment where they'd shown up. I'd moved last month, drove by on purpose, a test. Did it still scare me? It didn't, just a building. Derek texted, dinner Friday? New ramen place. Maya wanted to come too. The 3 of us, chosen family that doesn't demand, just respects. At home, I looked at the evidence folder one last time. 87 files. Proof of harassment, proof I'd fought back, proof documentation is power. I renamed it, Archive, September 2020 backed it up, closed the laptop. The restraining order didn't expire until 2029. But I didn't think in time anymore. I thought in distance, 100 yards that might as well be 3,000 miles. Last week at the Family Justice Center workshop, someone asked, do you regret filing? Wish you'd reconciled? No, some relationships are meant to end. That doesn't make you bad. It makes you someone who chose safety over suffering. She'd cried, then thanked me. Tonight I poured chamomile tea, the same kind from those first terrified nights, and sat by the window, my badge on the hook by the door, laptop charging, phone silent, peaceful, no unknown numbers, no Pennsylvania area codes, no demands, no fake invoices for imaginary debts. 7 years ago, I ran 3,000 miles. 1 year ago, I stood my ground with evidence, systems, law. Now, I was just living, building, healing. The debt I never owed was paid in full, not with money, but with boundaries, with documentation. With 100 yards of court-ordered distance, I was free. And I was the one who'd freed myself.